Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit of technical analysis on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets, and more specifically, we're going to be talking about this little rally that Bitcoin has entered here over the last 8 days or so, and also more specifically, we're going to be talking about this little pump that we've seen here over the last 24 hours, because right around the time I recorded yesterday's video, which was right around here, Bitcoin was trading at around $6,400 and some change, and overnight, Bitcoin had a nice little rally here, moving up to a recent local high of around $6,540. And of course, that's a rather bullish move. I'm very happy to see that, especially considering the low volume, low volatility, and low retail interest that we've seen in the market here over the last several weeks. I'm very happy to see some kind of northerly move. But in all my coverage of this, I haven't talked about price targets yet. I've analyzed a lot of different things about this rally. I've talked about what it means for the long-term technicals. I've talked about how this rally was actually going to start. If you go back on the channel, we have a thumbnail that shows like right there and then right after the breakout actually happened. I talked about everything with this rally except for price targets, but now that we have seen this rally develop a little bit more, I do feel more comfortable talking about price targets and trying to put a gauge on how far this is actually going to go. So that's what we're going to do in today's video. We're going to be talking about where I think this rally is going to be taking us over the next couple of days and on into the next couple of weeks. So without much further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Yes, I am recording. I just spent like 2.5 minutes recording the intro to this video, and turns out I didn't hit the right button. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and give CoinMarketCap a little refresh here and do our crypto market recap. Bitcoin across all exchanges is currently trading at just over $6,530 and some change, and we see that Bitcoin's up around 1.5% over the last 24 hours. Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, and EOS are doing very, very well. That's a Hodge Twins reference. Bitcoin Cash and EOS are doing very, very well. Bitcoin Cash has been doing extremely well over the last couple of weeks. I showed this in a previous video, but I'll show it again in case you haven't seen it. Bitcoin Cash has done rather well. This was back over here at the beginning of November. It's only 7 days into November. Over the last 5 days, Bitcoin Cash has seen about a 50% rally. A very, very good week for Bitcoin Cash. Congrats to you guys if you've gotten in on that. I've been in on XRP recently, and XRP's been doing rather well as well. I'm quite happy with how it's been treating me. But anyway, we're not going to be doing any altcoin TA today. I just wanted to point that out. If we do sort by change over the last 24 hours right here, we're going to see that Bitcoin Cash and Eternity are up over 10%. Eternity is going up eternally. It is up by about 13.6%. I said in yesterday's video, I'm going to try and make a pun out of that, and sometimes it doesn't work. Anyway, it looks like the biggest loser down here, Electroneum, has been electrocuted because it is sitting at negative 4.3%. and isn't doing very well. Red coin is down by about 3.65, and that coin is in the red. Anyway, I can do this all day, guys. But anyway, if we sort by change over the last 24 hours here, we can see that the majority of altcoins are in the green. We do see some more green flowing back into the market as the high cap altcoins, and especially as Bitcoin, are doing quite well here over the last couple of days. I'm very happy to see the altcoin market's doing well, because what we've seen several times this year is Bitcoin has started to do well, and there's been dissonance between Bitcoin and the altcoin markets, where the altcoin markets don't follow through, and vice versa. Sometimes we've seen the altcoins markets do very well. A good example is in the beginning of January, when Bitcoin had already hit all-time high and the altcoins were going up to their all-time high. We were seeing dissonance, and it wasn't really good for the market. Normally when you see that kind of dissonance, a lot of times it's bearish. Sometimes it's not, but a lot of times it is. You want to make sure that the altcoins and Bitcoin are moving up together, because then you have a lot of unity in the market, because those coins tend to move together anyway. So if they're trying to go in two separate directions, normally that's not very healthy for the market. Normally you're going to see some bearish price action come out of that. And luckily, that's not what we're seeing right now. We're seeing most of the altcoins move to the upside, including the four most important altcoins: EOS, Bitcoin Cash, XRP, and Ethereum all seem to be doing pretty well here over the last week or so. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin. And as you can see, Bitcoin has been doing rather well over the last week as well. I do want to go out, and I do want to zoom out and do a little bit of longer term TA on this, and then zoom in and talk about what we're looking at here today, because it all kind of ties into what the points I want to make in today's video. We saw Bitcoin in this long-term triangle pattern above this uptrend of support. I'm not going to go in too much detail on this, because if you watch any video for the last 2 months, you probably heard me talking about this uptrend. This is a rather important uptrend of support that I am very, very much hoping will hold and that we will never break, because that is a trend that Bitcoin has made, where it sets continuous higher lows, consecutive higher lows. I'm very happy about that, and luckily we haven't broken it. We did in fact get above this downtrend of resistance, which constituted the downtrend of resistance in a triangle consolidation pattern. We did get above it, and we did see a breakout from it, and it does seem now that we are in a rally. And it does seem that we're in a rally for many different reasons. There's a video on the channel where I break down why it seems we're in a rally. One of the biggest confirmations that I use for us to be, for whether or not we're in a rally, is the MACD in correlation with the Heikin Ashi. As you can see, Heikin Ashi is green, and so too is MACD bullish. And as well as that, we see that Bitcoin has gotten above the 20 daily exponential moving average. Those three things are what I normally use to determine whether or not Bitcoin is in a rally, and Bitcoin has checked all three boxes. I'm very happy to see that, and it does seem that we're going to see a little bit more follow through coming out of the Bitcoin market here, coming over the next couple of days and on into the next couple of weeks. So now I want to talk about price targets. There's several different things I want to discuss here. One of them is that we're in a completely different era now than what we were in about 2 months ago and back. This era right over here that we're in right now is the beginning of a new era. This right over here, let's actually put the dividing line right about there. This is one era, that's the bear market, this is the accumulation phase. So we have to look at how the rallies are going to play out in these two different eras completely differently. Of course, we have to base our own technical analysis on previous technicals. Of course, that's important, but things operate differently. Markets operate differently when they're in different types of markets. You see, in a bull market, a market will operate completely differently than if it's in a bear market, and the same is true for whether you're in a bear market or an accumulation phase. Down over here, when we were setting lower highs, we were definitely in a bear market. Recently, we haven't really been setting lower highs because we haven't been setting any highs at all, and I'm not really convinced that we're going to start seeing lower highs continue or higher highs start, simply because we're in this kind of medium, this kind of this twilight zone in between a bear market and a bull market. Those kind of assumptions that you can make about what the market will do in a bear market kind of tend to break down and kind of start to break down when you enter an accumulation phase, and most certainly when you enter a bull market, they especially get flipped on their head. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because one thing that we would often do in 2018's bear market to get an idea of where a new rally was going to go would be to look at previous rallies and see how they operated. For example, these two rallies back over here, we had a pretty good idea of where they were going to top out because there was a downtrend operating on the market right here that showed us pretty much where the rallies were going to go. And there was a lot of other things that I talk about in the course, for example, that showed us where these rallies were going to top out and where they were going to end. But a lot of that isn't really in play anymore because the market is so much different. And like I said, the reason I bring that up is because it's very important for when we're gauging how far a rally will go. You don't want to just zoom in and look at the technicals so far as they operate in the last 2 weeks. You want to zoom out, get the bigger picture of how the market operates, and then incorporate that into your shorter term technical analysis. Because one other thing I talk about in the course, or well, a video that's coming to the course pretty soon, is that when you see short-term trends and long-term trends align and converge, you normally see very, very powerful moves, and that's what I think we're seeing right now. We're seeing the bear market is coming to an end. We're seeing the beginnings of a bull market, maybe. Not necessarily, but we're seeing a rally in an accumulation phase start, and that has a major implication because it means that we're not seeing a rally in a bear market. That is that kind of dissonance I was talking about earlier, but in a different manner. You don't want to see that kind of dissonance between the long-term trends and the short-term trends, because oftentimes that will throw a wrench in any kind of rally that you're trying to form. And I bring all that up for an important reason. That's because we have to understand the long terms to understand the short term. So let's go ahead and try to get an understanding of where Bitcoin's going to go here in the short term. Well, a lot of people have been asking me to put price targets on this and get an idea of where this is actually going to break out to. So that's what we'll go ahead and do. I do want to go ahead and point out several different price targets, one of them being where we are basically right now. As you can see, just above us is the 100 daily simple moving average, this simple moving average right here. And of course, historically, in all these rallies in the bear market, we saw Bitcoin get above the 100 daily simple moving average. Right over here we saw it, right over there we saw it, and right over there we saw it. That's this gray line right here, this gray line right there, that's the 100 daily simple moving average. We got above it all 3 times we went into a rally after the bear market had perfectly formed. And while I just said that we don't really want to base all of our technicals in the accumulation phase off of technicals that we would use in the bear market, this is a little bit different because we're not exactly basing our technicals off of the bear market, because in the bear market we got above the 100 daily simple moving average, and if we're in accumulation phase, which isn't as bearish as a bear market, you'd expect that we would get quite a bit above the 100 daily simple moving average, right? Am I wrong? Tell me in the comments. I don't think I am, and it seems like we're probably going to get through it. It does seem like we're going to have enough follow through to get back up above the 100 daily simple moving average. And if we do, then that leaves one more important level of resistance, that being $6,800 up here just above us. I am looking at that as a major level of resistance rather than the 100 daily simple. It seems we'll get through that. But $6,800 has proven to be a very important level of resistance and support many, many times over the last 4 months or so. Back over here, it was the neckline of an inverse head and shoulders pattern when Bitcoin ran down to $5,750, one of the most bearish periods of the entire year. Back over here, you can't see it on the daily chart, but there was a lot of important trading right around here when we saw news of the Bitcoin ETF be delayed. I believe that was when that news broke. And then we saw a lot of trading around it right over here. And recently, we've seen more resistance on it. $6,800 has proven itself to be an important level of support and resistance, and I do think we're going to see a lot of fighting between the bulls and the bears when we get up there. Recently, we've been in this little trading channel between $6,800 and $6,000. As you can see in this accumulation phase, we've been bouncing around between it. So if we do break to the upside of that channel and get above $6,800, that is going to be very significant, guys. I don't want to downplay that. That is going to be a big deal if we do get above $6,800. And if we get above $6,800, then the next major level of resistance will be the 200 daily simple moving average right there. I'm not totally convinced that we're going to get above the 200 daily simple moving average, because if we do, that would be an early warning sign of a bull market, and I'm not totally convinced we're quite ready for it. I think it's going to start in the next 3 to 4 months or so. I'm not so sure it's going to start yet. So what am I trying to say here? We have 3 major levels of resistance that I'm looking at: the 100 daily simple, the $6,800 price level, and the 200 daily simple moving average. I'm looking at those 3 levels, and I think Bitcoin is definitely going to get through the 100 daily, and less likely it's going to get through the $6,800. If it does, and then we're probably going to see Bitcoin run up here and go straight up to the 200 daily simple moving average and get resistance there, or at least test it. Perhaps we'll get through it. I don't know. Maybe we are ready for a bull market. I just don't think we're quite ready for it at this point. Tell me in the comments section down below, guys, what you think of that technical analysis. What do you think of what I've said here today? Do you think Bitcoin's about to break $6,800 and go on a new bull run? I'm interested, as always, to hear your opinions in the comment section down below. If you're watching this during the premiere, the reason I'm not here is because I'm out of the house when this video goes live, and that also means that you didn't see any mid-roll ads on this video if you're watching it after the premiere. So congratulations. That's not going to be the same thing for tomorrow. Anyway, guys, I want to mention something here coming into the end of the video. I'm kind of offended because literally every single time I start recording this video, I ask you guys what's up, and you never tell me in the comment section what's up. So in today's video, go down in the comment section and tell me what's up. I am very interested to hear your opinions on that. You never actually tell me. It's kind of rude that you've been ignoring me all this time. It's literally the first thing I say in the video, guys. Tell me in the comment section down below what's going on, guys. Jeb here. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I do want to thank each and every single one of you for watching, as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.